Mhm. The second stop in our tour is the Civil War. So during the Civil War, this area of Southwest Florida was basically farmland, all farmland, and we were a Confederate state. I believe we were the third one to secede from the Union, and therefore we supported the Confederate Army, the Southern Army. The job of this area, Southwest Florida, was to supply the Southern Army with beef. So in this area, the farmers were raising longhorn steers, and they were valuable to sustain the army. So they were driving the steer herds northward into Georgia, and then dispersing them from that point to the Southern armies located off the rail routes. So the cattle drives northward from Fort Myers area, they were handled by actual cowboys from this area that were known as cow cavalry. So there were skirmishes to try and stop those shipments northward, and therefore there were small skirmishes fought in the along the route. In fact, there was a fort located in Fort Myers and Fort Harvey, and in that fort that was manned by Northern troops, and their job was to stop those cattle shipments northward. So there was an all-day skirmish, the Battle of Fort Myers, it's called, and it got that designation because the battle was waged all day between the cow cavalry outside against the guys in the fort to drive those cattle herds, and because of there being one casualty inside the fort, it's known as a battle, and therefore, a bit of trivia, Fort Myers is known as the southernmost battle fought in the Civil War. So along this wall, we have the northern side represented in documents on the wall and also artifacts inside the cases. We do have some rare pieces like the cornet, which was with a Civil War band, northern band actually, out of Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Another artifact from that period right next to it is a Northern Bible given by the Bible Society to all the soldiers, and it has a stain on the bottom of it, and we haven't had it tested yet, but it does look like a blood stain. We have a barrel on the bottom shelf, and that's a large canteen-sized barrel, but that was probably attached to a wagon, and it could have been used like as a hospital wagon to carry water. We do have a trunk that's represented here. It belonged to a Southern General, William Wofford, and he was one of the generals that fought at Gettysburg, and he actually tried to persuade General Lee not to go ahead with his infamous attack against the Union Center on the third day of the Battle of Gettysburg, known as Pickett's Charge. He tried to tell the hierarchy of the Southern generals not to do it, but they went ahead with it, and of course it was known as the high water mark of the Confederacy, where they were turned back by the Union.